goals. Dreams and goals. Dreams and goals. Get results.
Oh, shit. Bro, his fucking arms. Oh, my God. And then he said he didn't tap right there? The fuck was that?
I think he was reaching and trying to get his arm free. But smooth.
Bro.
It's funny because, you know, a lot of people don't watch it back, so they'll think striking was lacking. Punches were here. But here is good. Because, like, even though I'm smacking and I'm coming back, I'm seeing I could have doubled up on shots. Boom, boom. Could have been all she wrote.
Dude, but was he punching hard or no?
No.
It wasn't punching hard?
Nothing was really landing. It was all skimming by.
I was going to say, did it look like you had good range? Watching it back, it looked like you were kind of out of his range. That he wasn't really connecting. In that one, I didn't realize the one you were on one foot trying to throw a kick. I thought you were going backwards. Holy shit. Dude, his arm like snapped twice.
I feel like it was even worse when we were rolling him over a big ass tape. Almost threw my back out.
Kevin Holland suspended 6 months after pulls back from picking up tape. Not from the fight.
Let me turn that damn thing off.
He's like, I didn't tap. That looked like a tap to me, though.
I mean, you know, in the moment.
I mean, who knows, right?
You know, look at that, eating a massive one.
Yeah, fuck, it's a shitty clip to show. God, thanks a lot, Cozy Bros.
That's a good one.
Trying to do this on a freaking high note.
Just remember, I eat those. You know what I mean?
You do. Okay, I want a serious question. Yeah, thanks. You guys, you can take a freaking punch.
Sometimes.
I mean, have you ever been KO'd?
I was on Corner Street that time when the guy headbutt me. But no, I ain't been out.
That's what I'm saying. So, what do you think that's from? Why do I'll just question. We get started. Why do some guys? Where do you think the chin comes from? Like, obviously, people say chin. Where does that come from?
I mean, I think some people don't mind being knocked out. Like, you can't say it never crosses your mind when you fight enough times. Like, could it ever happen to me? I mean, you question it, but it's like I think some guys accept it. I don't never accept it. No. You know, you question whether it can happen or not. I just never accept that it can happen. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Not really, but I like where your head's at.
Yeah, I think it's the will. You know, it's like I was having a conversation with a guy one time, and he was finishing everybody on the local circuit, and then he was finishing a lot of people in the UFC. And then he got to the tip top, you know, and started getting the better guys, and he was like, "Guys are tougher." I was like, they just not dropping. It's like everybody's tough, bro. It's like these guys have more to win. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's more to them to win. So they just show up a little bit better, a little bit more durable, a little bit better mentally and physically in shape, you know? And it's like, and that's usually what it is. And then every once in a while, you got a guy that just hits like an absolute dump truck and has very good precision. And it doesn't matter how much shape you are in, or you're this or you're that. Don't get hit.
You get hit. Oh, because you see people take those shots that you've taken and they don't stay up. Like watching that back, you were on one foot throwing a kick. So when you're watching it live, it looked like he hit you and you got dropped. But you're on one foot, kind of going backwards. So it's just call it a slip. But if you see guys take those shots and they're done, like they're out of it, and you're not. You're still going. Like it's,
I'm there to fight.
I get it, but most people. I mean, people are there to fight. But like, is it? And by the way, we're getting started. We're already started. It's the Real Eyes Recognize. We're just kidding. It's a DG show. It's not real. It's Real Eyes Recognize DG show. We thought one time. You guys thought Kevin Holland came out of hiding. No skits. No Real Eyes Recognize. It's the DG show. Yeah. One time.
It's all right, though. You catching me on real shit from the shitter.
I know. You've been doing a lot of real shit from the shitter. I feel like you're getting back. Less skits, more real shit from the shitter.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. People like it when I'm shitting.
Yeah, they do.
Can I say?
You're spitting that shit from the shitter.
Keep it real. Keep the facts going. Keep it strong.
Okay, so then we're on this topic. As a fighter and as someone that I would put in that BMF, you're down to scrap anywhere, anytime. Like, what you see is what you get, but you're a true fighter, right?
Yeah.
Does it ever cross your mind, or has it ever? You're getting hit. Has it ever crossed your mind to quit? Ever? in the fight? What's going on in your mind?
It crossed my mind like, damn, bro, give me a break for a second.
Chill out.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
And never to quit though.
Yeah,
it's like
fight.
person who probably hit me like the best, believe it or not, was Wonder Boy. And
Really?
Wonder Boy actually cracked something in my face. You know what I mean? And it's
wow.
and I knew something was cracked in the face. I just didn't go to the fucking doctor because I was like, it's not that bad. I can breathe. I can see. Everything's good to go. And then it's like, sure enough, when I went to the doctor, they were like, yeah, this was fucked up, but you know, we'd have to re-break in order to fix it. They were like, but you're good. So I was like, all right, I'm good. But then Wonder Boy, and he hit me with a good shot, and I was thinking like, you think we can take a minute or two? And he wasn't thinking about that. So I was like, well, fuck it, let's just keep fighting then.
What do you think that was? It was it Conor always said, what is it? Precision beats power. And
he had precision. Like
was it the precision
it was
of it?
Precision. It was good. It was precision and timing. You know what I mean? It was just he hit me at a good time and a precise shot. So it's like, you know, when he hit me with that shot, it was like, damn.
So all the people you fought, you say Wonder Boy probably hit the hardest. Well,
not the hardest.
No,
at
but
all.
not the hardest.
Not the
Just
hardest
one
at all.
that
It was just
the one that
timing.
did damage.
It landed at a pretty spot. You know what I mean? And it just was like, fuck, that sucks.
Who do you think's the guy you fought that hit the hardest?
John Phillips.
Really?
And I always say it, and it's like a lot of people don't even know about the John Phillips fight, but John Phillips actually, he hit me and it dropped me. Like, it wasn't one of those hits and you kind of like, you know what I mean, you're off balance or anything like that. Like, he hit me and it fucking sucked, you know? So, John Phillips was that guy.
Really?
Yeah. Thiago Santos hit pretty hard too, but, you know, it's like, it's almost like when you're standing, some of his punches had pushes to it.
Yeah.
But it's like, Phillips cracked.
That's crazy. You wouldn't think that. All right. So what? A question about did you watch the fights at the Sphere? I know.
I watched him on TV.
Yeah, you watched them on TV.
Wasn't cool enough to make it there.
Yeah, not me either.
Ooh, that's getting pretty close.
I was at bare knuckle. But what do you? So it rose a question. Obviously, congrats to Merab. Merab's a just freaking stand up guy.
Yeah, back when we had the show together, you know, he was on there with us.
He was. Yeah, he was on there. Right? Show, and he's incredible. He's been on the DG show too. And he's
wow. So it wasn't me, Merab.
It was. I dropped your name. I was like, Kevin will be here. And he's like, where's Kevin? I was like, oh, he couldn't make it. He's late.
You thought he thought it was the RR.
Yeah, he thought it was the. He goes, I already did the Realize Recognize. So this is episode 2, Merab.
Episode 2, baby.
2. So he did. But a great guy. But okay, so I feel like Merab, he did, like it was. I liked his antics. I thought he was being a showman. Like, you know, the kissing thing, knock it off, talking to his corner. But it's like, okay, the corner's talking shit. He's talking shit back. Like I like this side of Merab. I saw this like, oh, shit, like a superstar. And it leads me to a question for you. Sean O'Malley was kind of a superstar. He was the next, you call it like, he had that Conor McGregor type swag going in there. Hadn't really lost a fight besides the one where his knee with Cheeto went back and he avenged that loss. But he developed into this superstar. Yeah. And it was like, okay, but you take a loss, you lose the belt. It's like, are you still a superstar? Yeah, you are, but you're not that loss takes a little bit of away. Obviously, Merab, I thought he became a superstar that night, just the way he conducted himself and then goes out there to perform in a dominant performance. But who do you think's like that next UFC superstar? Is there somebody out there? Obviously, you're a huge name in the sport. People love you, fan favorite.
It's gotta be Pereira. I mean, and like you say, if you say next, you mean after Pereira?
No,
because
I think
it has to be Pereira right now. You know, it's like Sugar had the momentum. Losing that kind of put him in a pickle. And I still think he has plenty of chances, you know, to be superstars for sure. If not, the story could be even better now. But I would have to say Pereira. And it's because, you know, it's like the knockouts he gets, the things that he does, it's like, yeah, it looks good. You know, it looks great. And then his activity level. He hasn't been here that long, and for everything that he's accomplished is fucking crazy. So it's like, activity level with always successful missions, pretty much. You know, it's like one fail out of how many missions? It's a pretty good stat.
Yeah, he's taking the playbook out of Kevin Holland. You got to respect someone being like, especially that's the thing I respect about you the most. It's like, okay, you're superstar and you still take the risk, right? Like that is a big thing because that's your career you're playing with, and people in boxing and MMA get judged so much off their losses. Like it's like one loss defines you, and in life that's not true, but in the fight game it does. Like people lose and it's like they write you off. So a lot of guys have to take methodical fights because you want to take fights that you could win. I mean, that's part of the game, is take them till you get there. But you see guys like you see guys like Pereira, like guys are superstars, but you're taking those risks in those fights, whether it's last minute injuries. It's like with you at the Ponzinibbio fight, you don't even have a right hand and you're fighting. Is that part of you think that develops into that superstar, is being able to take those risks too?
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure, you know, I mean, like they say when you're gambling, you know, high risk, high reward, right? Yeah. Low risk, low reward. So it's like I'm gambling. I like betting $1 when I'm shooting dice with the homie. You know what I mean? They're like, bro, you're on fire. Bet more, bet more, bet more. And I'm like, shit, that dollar gonna add up. You know. But then you have other guys that they'll go out there and they'll shoot the 100, they'll shoot the 200, they'll shoot the 1,000. You know what I mean? They'll shoot the 2,000. And it's like, I guess when it comes to the fight career, I'm out there shooting the 1,000, I'm shooting the 2,000. You know, I'm shooting as much as I can because it's just like, fuck, you never know when it's going to be over. So you're just shooting the dice and you're putting as much as you can on the line. And then you have some guys who go out there and they shoot the 1 at a time, they shoot the 2 at a time. And then when they have to shoot the 100 or 1,000, they go out there and they shoot it. And I don't know if that makes sense. But
No, it does,
like,
yeah.
You know, it's like, props to Pereira for going out there and rolling the dice on big ones.
Yeah.
And coming up. Yeah, it's like he didn't have to step up and save the day on UFC 300. You know, it's like, neither nor him or Jamal had to fight each other.
Yeah.
The time, you know, it's like the belt's up for a grab. They don't have to fight each other. You know, it's like to roll the dice and do that, props to both. You know, Pereira got the job done. You know what I mean? That puts him in a really good spot. To go out there against Yuri not once but twice, and I think both times it really wasn't even a real camp. It just kind of like that. It just kind of sprinkled it together. Rolled the dice, came up strong. Could have said, no, I needed more time before he did an Izzy rematch. Didn't do it. And the dice didn't go out right, but he came around, turned around, went right back up to 205 and ran up the ladder. So it's like when you do it and you have successful missions, you're gambling big and you're winning really, really fucking big. I can only imagine how big the guy's winning right now.
Do you think he has the shot to go up to heavyweight and fight Jones?
I think that's the only fight that makes sense. I know a lot of people give me shit for that, especially the Aspinall fans. And look here, I'm an Aspinall fan. You know what I mean?
He's a bad dude.
I think that Aspinall is a very, very bad dude. And I think that he is one of those guys that you would say if anybody could give John Jones the hardest time, if not the worst time. And I'm a huge John Jones fan. I think John Jones, greatest pound for pound fighter to ever exist right now. You know what I mean? But that being said, Tom is a lot like the Dominic Reyes and the Thiagos that gave him upset. He'll throw that wild combo, but then he also has the ability to wrestle a little bit. And he's a goddamn beast coming forward. So it's like that'd be a hard one to deal with. But we don't want to see John Jones lose. We do want to see him in a tough fight, but if we want to see him in a fight, we want to see him in a fight with somebody who can become that superstar.
Yeah.
Not saying Tom can't, but I think Alex has put in all the right chips, rolled all the right dice. And I think a 225 fight for all the fame going out, John Jones' last fight, I think it just makes sense.
John Jones' last fight because he's got Stipe.
Stipe is to cement the legacy. And I think the legacy is cemented after that.
Yeah, it's because Stipe was what they say is the greatest heavyweight of all time. He goes against Jones. That's there. But then after that, do you give Pereira a fight over Tom if he wants it? They both.
I think that you do if it's not at heavyweight. And that's why I say 225. Catchweight. You know, something fun in between. It doesn't give Pereira a chance to be a 3-time champ, but it does give him a chance to go up and avenge the last guy that beat Glover that's still around.
That's true. And it's you don't want to see John Jones lose, though. I mean, some people do because they can't stand him. But I mean, I love the dude. I like how
Khabib went out with his GOAT story. Why not John?
Yeah, the same.
Why not John?
Because Anderson Silva, to me, is on GOAT Mountain, one of the most talented to ever do it. But the end of his career, like
why'd you do that?
Yeah. I mean, because
that's what you get when John starts to fight guys like Tom and the guy that Tom just beat, the guy that was running through crash course and everybody. It's like when he fights guys like that, it's kind of where he's getting to. He's been there, done his thing. It's like you don't have to keep taking those chances. And that's when we talk about rolling the dice.
It's at some point you gotta, hey man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like me, I'm getting old and I try to play basketball, pull something, run.
Yeah, and then you can't go do roof and shit. Or you can't sit here and do anything. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No, you can't go out. What about I was excited about this, and I think it could be huge. Dana White announced that he's getting into boxing and he's going all in on boxing.
Oh, he's been in boxing,
but he's going like he's announced he's going big. What do you think he can? I mean, UFC's dominated mixed martial arts. Like what they've done is crazy. Do you think he could do the same thing in boxing?
It'll be easier.
Why is that?
He has the blueprint. So first and foremost, it's like he has King Walsh. You know what I mean? Caleb, and Caleb's a bad motherfucker,
dude.
Right?
Stud.
Bad motherfucker. So he has his own little continent over there with Walsh just doing his freaking thing. And then you have all these UFC fighters who want to box, who carry a name.
Yeah.
You have a whole promotion behind you that knows how to promote anything. They know how to promote somebody slapping somebody in the face. I don't even know how you can convince somebody to stand there across from the other guy and get slapped in the face.
You go to Ohio and
Well,
all the guys are Ohio. Yeah,
he did it, and he did it pretty freaking good too. So it's like, do I think he'll do good in boxing? I think he'll do great in boxing. And the whole thing, the way Jake Paul just came out and kind of brought boxing back some serious life. I think this is that extra straw that we need to see boxing back on top of the map.
Do you have an interest in that?
I have an interest in anything striking that's not
Slapping.
Yeah.
Where you can defend yourself.
If I can defend myself, I'm interested.
Yeah, or slap and not get slapped back.
I'm not interested in bare knuckle for myself, but I'm interested in some of my friends. I think some of the guys I know who do MMA but seem to do a little bit better when they're knocking somebody out at the bar or do good at bare knuckle.
Dude, bare knuckle, like that's it.
It hurts.
But it hurts to watch.
Yeah, believe it.
It
hurts to watch so much. I just sit at home and watch regular Gladiator.
I like watching it. I love bare knuckle. I'm an investor, and I was like real skeptical at first because you're like, okay, UFC thing, right? Not to hate on the other MMA. There's a lot of local circuits that do a great job of bringing fighters up, and you need that, right? But you're like, okay, is this going to be another just no-name MMA league that's going to run its course?
No, it's fun.
It's completely different.
It's fun.
Completely different.
It's fun.
Crazy.
It's if Dana wasn't getting into boxing,
Think he'd do that?
yeah, dude, why not, right?
You think there's a world where you could have a boxing and MMA event on the same night? Maybe.
I think it's possible. I just think it'd be kind of hard. It's like unless you're doing old school Pride style. But I think there is a world where you can have bare knuckle and boxing
In the same.
Yeah.
That's
I'd almost would like to see an undercard of all bare knuckle, and then you see the Canelo fight. You know what I mean? Because it's like half the time, who the fuck are these boxers on the undercard?
Jake Paul. No, it's
Isn't he the main guy these days?
no, it's on his thing, but it's a lot of. I almost feel like it's like an influencers.
Yeah.
That are.
Now, if you had Canelo as main, you had Jake Paul as co-main, and then you had some other fights underneath there, now I'd be interested in that.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in that. But could you imagine having 6 bare knuckle fights, maybe even 8 bare knuckle fights, because they could be over like this, and then having Jake Paul and then Canelo? I mean, that'd be a hell of a fucking event.
It'd be legit because I think there's, especially too for some of the MMA guys, they lose great strikers. Maybe they're not great at jiu-jitsu or wrestling. They're still great fighters.
Yeah.
If Dana's controlling the boxing, and it's fun. You said like even I was kind of even I don't really watch boxing anymore. Even with the Jake Paul, like you watch that fight to see him lose or you see him win, but like you said, I didn't watch anything on any of the other cards up into the main event. And then you see him fighting Tyson, okay, whatever. But then, I'll watch like a Canelo fight because Canelo's just watching him is like, wow, man, that guy's a master. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. But I can't tell you the last boxing match I've watched other than Canelo.
I watched the last Canelo fight because I was out watching the UFC fight and it was on the TV.
It was on
next to
TV,
me.
yeah.
And it was Lopez versus Ortega, and I was like, fuck, this is a good fight. But then you just couldn't not look at Canelo. Canelo was fucking doing his
He looked good.
shit. Then he was walking forward with his hand like this, and he was just doing it. And you go boom over the top, and then boom over the top.
And then
he was, you know what I mean? I was
he
like,
was
fuck,
moving.
yeah.
He looked good.
It's kind of hard not to watch that.
Yeah, no, he looked good. And I watched the Callum, the bro. He's just so good. He's just got a swagger in there.
I was blessed to go to one of his fights live at one of the events that they were throwing.
Yeah.
Man, hey, they throw a fire event.
Dude, I love watching that kid fight. I watched his outside of him just because he's got that it factor.
Yeah.
He's legit.
Yeah.
So for everybody that doesn't know,
He trains MMA too. For you guys out there thinking that he doesn't, he knows a little bit of MMA too. That don't let that motherfucker cross over. It'd be a problem for somebody.
Didn't y'all train together a few times?
Yeah, he helped me get ready. Well, not get ready, but he helped me do some warm up stuff. Pretty hard warm up too, bro. For the JDM fight. So
really,
that was pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid's a beast.
How old is he? He's a young cat, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I think he's fairly young. Yeah.
What? So you haven't been as I would say. I don't want to say you haven't been as active. You've been active on social media, but it's just been different. It's been obviously the hunting, what you're doing, but it's been, I would say, a little more reserved. You still do the real shit from the shitter, but it's been on a different side. It's like, what has Kevin Holland been up to? People that don't know. Obviously, you got a big fight coming up October 5th. Huge fight. You're fighting Roman. What's his story for people that don't know? Fighting in Salt Lake City, which by the way, great food, great place.
Yeah, so I'm fighting Roman DeLeese, ranked at 185 and 205. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a very fun fight. And the dude's a monster. Last time I fought somebody this size of a person was, I believe it was Jacare. So I'm looking to go out there and shock myself like I did in the Jacare fight. And when I shock myself, I tend to shock others. And then things that I've been up to lately, I've been hunting like a motherfucker. I actually got my hunting gear inside the car right now. We're actually about to go get some content in the EV and the Hummer, and just basically get some. I got the Trailblazer written on one side, still blazing, with the nonprofit HB on there. Then on the other side, I got the Big Mouth. So I'm gonna hope I can get some coyotes hanging over the top. I got some farmers out a little bit further than here, about an hour out from here. Calling, talking about the coyotes have been going crazy since the weather's starting to drop again, and they got some pigs still on the farm. So we're gonna knock out some of those pigs, we'll knock out some of those coyotes, make about 5 or 6 farmers happy, and make myself happy at the time for getting some good content. So yeah, I've been having a blast. I'm almost at year 1 for my hunting, which is crazy. I've done really, when I get into something, and if I can stay consistent at it, I can tend to cover some ground. And for year 1 on hunting, I've covered some serious ground, and I'm close to owning quite a few acres, but I don't want to say too much about that because people like to copy me, and I don't want everybody in the game to have acres.
Just go get land.
Yeah.
Where did the hunting come from?
Actually, my buddy Cowboy, Justin Adams, he took me out to go do an elk hunt, and he just wanted me and my Uncle Pat to go out and say hi to Dad out there. So we went out there and we went to the ski resort.
Thanks, asshole. But yeah, no problem. Go ahead. Sorry.
My bad.
I'm gonna call you and then you call me when
No,
you're there.
you come this year for elk hunt. Elk tags get up there, but it's a fun hunt. And it's a good hunt because you get to take home a lot of meat for the family. I fed my family, and when I say my family, I mean I fed my house, my mama's house, and my uncle's house for a good 6-7 months. We might still have a little bit of elk laying around. Yeah, and I was passing elk out,
Wow.
So the elk lasted for a real long time, and I was on a strict elk diet for a cool second there. But yeah, he invited us out to the mountains, and we got to do an elk. And I had been, going to the shooting range and shooting for a while, and shooting at the shooting range is fun, but I was starting to slow down a little bit, needed something a little bit more fun. And me and Pat were like, fuck it, we're not going to fish. Let's go try hunting.
Yeah, I can't fish.
I don't like sitting on the boat like that. So we went out there and did a turnaround trip, slept in the car for a couple hours, shot the elk. They processed it. I slept for a couple hours while they were processing it, threw it in the back of the truck. When I say process, I mean they were just cutting it down, getting it ready for us to haul out. We threw it back in the bed of the truck, threw some ice on top of it once we got about an hour out in the city, drove home, and after that I was like, you know what? That was pretty cool. I just basically filled my freezer up with my own meat. I was like, everybody love Kev's meat, right? And everybody, this shit's fantastic. So.
I never got any of that meat, just FYI. I'm just saying.
So now, now we're doing the thing. Yeah, you didn't even eat none at the barbecue we had.
No, responsibilities.
Yeah, I'm telling you though, I hear you, because who wants to say they love Kev's meat? But when you try this meat, you'll never want any other meat again.
I'm good on trying other dudes' meats.
I hear you, but I get all the best meats.
I like to go hunting
exotic
too.
meats and stuff like that.
I get it. What's your favorite?
When you put it in your mouth, it just slaps you right across your face. Does something different to your belly.
I go hunting a lot. HEB, Kroger. I like sneak up on the ribeye and then pull out. It's great.
You would enjoy the gator hunt though.
I know, but see, okay. So let's go elk hunting. You said gator hunting, and either. So honestly, it's because I'm white.
What happened with the gator hunting is it was a small window, and the first initial spot that I was going to go to, they wanted us to fill like 8 tags. Okay, I couldn't fill 8 tags. I just couldn't fill 8 tags.
Why?
Because this guy was charging $2,400 to $3,000 per tag.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I knew you might be down. I knew I was down.
But then everybody else.
Then after that,
why can't we just go poaching?
That we get in big trouble.
If you get caught, it's allegedly we're joking, we're not poaching. But
I found a guy named Dennis.
I like where this is going.
Really cool guy online, and he said he had a buddy that was an outfitter that works for him that was a pretty big fan, and dude was really cool. And you know me, I'm horrible with names, so I can't think of his name for shit right now.
Yeah, but he's a cool cat.
He was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
He was really cool. Spent the whole night out hunting with us, and then woke up early in the morning, took us out again to get the gators. And he was like, dude, I'm a big fan. They actually gave us the tags for $1,000 a piece, which is unheard of. Shot a little content, dropped the content for him. So I guess you could say it was a good exchange. And it was only 3 tags. And it was Ben's birthday. So I blessed Ben for his birthday. And then Hav was already out there. So Hav was like, I'll take that tag. So,
That's awesome.
but you're more than welcome to come out Saturday
I want to
and eat some of this meat.
what I want to do is I want to go kill some meat. I want to go hunting. I just want to go hunting one time, and it's always like, hey, Dustin, you're gonna go, and then you don't get to go, and then you call. But in fairness to you,
let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you the truth. You remember that day we went to the shooting range?
Yeah.
You want to tell everybody what happened?
Yeah, I didn't shoot for shit because my guns weren't sighted in.
But no. It's not.
The one was good, but the other one.
But what happened? What? How long did it take you to realize that you had the wrong clip for the gun?
Because I was in a hurry and I grabbed the wrong clips for the other gun. But other than that, we were good.
Yeah, you did good.
Okay, so what does that have to do with the elk hunt? So I'm calling fake news because the elk hunt was before that.
It was.
Yeah, so now you're making up bullshit.
The elk hunt's not my fault though. That's Cowboy's fault.
No, you said you were going to call me, and then you called me on the way, and you're like, hey, I forgot we already left like 4 hours ago. I was supposed to call you.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't.
You can go on the next one though.
I'm sure I will. And then the gator hunt. No, see, I'm not going to get anyone eaten by a gator. But I do want to go.
You do want to go on the gator hunt.
I do want to go on the gator hunt. I want to go on a hunt. That's the next step is get some land.
What do you really want to go hunt though? You want to go hunt gator? You want to go on a coyote hunt? You want to go on a pig hunt?
All of it.
When are you going to Utah? What day are you flying in?
Friday.
Ooh, see, a day too late.
I know.
Day too late to be great.
We got this work because I'm trying to do well in the company, so then go buy more land.
We're coyote hunting on Thursday.
I know. That's fun. You're taking a fan, right? Didn't somebody get the win?
We were trying to take a fan, and we had this thing out for people to come and to get on it. And believe it or not, we only had like 5 or 6 people sign up. And I was like, damn, dude, it's like that? Nobody likes me.
Well, probably because it's in Utah. Nobody's out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of hunters out in Utah. There's a lot of people that enjoy hunting and that would always wanted to go to Utah and hunt. And what better way to go to Utah and hunt than to go knock down some coyotes, spend a little bit more time with the hunter and knock down whatever else you want to hunt. And on top of that, get to go watch UFC 307, and you have the 2 most active guys in the UFC on that card, so you're up for bangers.
That's a low-key stacked card. And Utah is a lot of fun. It's a fun arena, and it's a cool environment. And that's going to be that. Like just looking at that card, which by the way, I have the boys. They're all excited because Connor and Kobe are going, and they're front row, and they're
How many extra tickets you got?
They're excited.
None. You didn't buy any extra this time?
No.
I might need you to shop for one for me.
I will. For who?
I got an old sponsor of mine who used to show a lot of love. He said he wants to close a business deal, and the guy's a really big fan. So
just one?
No, 2.
2? That's 2. I think there was 2 available. Rob's going.
Those close ones?
Yeah. I'll look and see. They're actually a really good price too.
Yeah, let me know because I'd love for this guy to go. He used to show me so much love when I was on the local circuit. And then he was even one of the sponsors that kept sponsoring me my first 3 to 4 UFC fights when everybody else was like, you're in the UFC now. You don't need the money. I was like, bullshit.
Do people think that? How do you sponsor Kev? Okay, let's talk about that. I want to talk about 2 things. One, you said you blessed somebody for their birthday. And I want to talk about this because I thought this was funny. And maybe it was funny. Maybe I'm just evil because I saw you post it online. Or I saw you comment to someone. But I thought it was very interesting because you said you're trying to make money off people and I'm trying to bless local. And then you bless. And I don't think people know this side of you, right? I think it's not shown enough. And it's because part of it you don't show it yourself because I don't think you like the attention.
I don't.
But you like attention, just not that. It's funny for you. You like the bad attention, not the good attention.
I hate the good attention.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's like when you do good, you're supposed to just do good out of the kindness of your heart. You're not supposed to do good because you want attention. It was like even when we had to do the paperwork to start getting the nonprofit started. Yeah. I stalled on it for so fucking long, and that until I was finally like, Dustin, can you just do this shit?
And then I did it all.
Do it. Exactly.
And it was such a pain in the ass, by the way. And we got it done.
And that's not why I don't like doing the paperwork. I just didn't want to do the paperwork for this because it's like I don't like feeling like I'm doing something for people to receive something back. You know what I mean?
It's
like I don't really care about the tax write-off. It's like until I find out how the IRS works, that shit's crazy. It's like
that's the real robbery.
Yeah,
not the judges. UFC wild. Judges, I apologize. You're not the worst robbery. It's the IRS.
They're actually cool when you compare them to the IRS. But it was just like I never wanted props for helping somebody out. Like when I remember the whole superhero bullshit was going on, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, you helped all these people out. Let's get bigger because of it." Hey, what the fuck do you want to get bigger because of that for? And it's like that to me has just never been. It's like then you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and I don't ever want to be doing the right thing for the wrong reasons because then you're not doing the right
thing. I respect that, and I have 2 thought processes on this because I'm the same. I do a lot of shit that people don't know about, and I don't want people to know about it, and I don't do it for people.
Yeah, because you're part of my nonprofit, motherfucker. Why are you trying to throw it all on me?
Yeah, well, no, that's true. See, I deflected, and it's cool, and like I know I've done things with you, and I'm just like, here you go, and you're like, hey, you want to be on the flyer? And I'm like, no, I'm just like here, and but also too is some people need to know because maybe you doing good inspires one other person to do good. And that's kind of, it's like, hey,
It's a good point.
that's a good, like, yeah, if you go out of the way to like, hey, make sure you film this, I'm gonna do good. Like, okay, dude, like you're just doing this to do good. But then also doing the good and so people can see it, it could inspire other people to do good, right? Like, hey, man, Kevin gave back. You know what? That's cool because a lot of times you see people, like you made the point, and this is what triggered this. You're like, people, oh, well, you're doing well because you're in the UFC. But it's like, okay, cool. But I'm also doing well in the UFC, but I'm giving back to other people. And it lets people know, like, hey, if you're in a good spot, you can still give back to others and maybe it inspires them, right? It inspires them to do more. And you're going to get haters. You're doing it for the wrong reasons. And there's people that are, but it could inspire that person like, hey, you know what? I can go help too, no matter what. Like, donate my time, whatever it is. But where does that come from? Because you made the comment, you're like, hey, I want to give back to local. And I know all the stuff you do. You do a lot for people, whether it's the gas giveaways, the lunches, just helping people out, the superhero stuff, doing things for the right reasons. Kids, I mean, I've watched you, and like I remember in Utah, and this is actually one of my favorite stories, is that everybody was like bothering you, and we're just trying to eat breakfast. And it's like, I've been with you when people are like, you have to sign this. And you're like, man, I have to do shit. Like, just give me a minute, right? But
they never tell me I have to.
They assume because you're supposed to play this part, and it's like, hey, just give me a minute. But I've watched you like, hey, man, leave me alone. Like, just let me eat, and then I'll sign and take photos for everybody in here. I'll get your breakfast. I don't care. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, dude. Like, but that's stuff that people don't see. Like, people don't see. And you stood there for over an hour after breakfast. You have a fight in, 6 hours? And you brought cards, you signed them, and you gave them away to people, and you took photos. But like,
well, the breakfast spot was really good, so I was in a good mood.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. But you do it all the time. Where does all that? Where does that come from, and why do you do it?
I mean, dude, believe it or not, like people always want this like story of like it was bad growing up. Like that really wasn't. You know, it's like I know people who had it way worse. So it's like I was always blessed, bro. I was always in good spots. It's like I learned martial arts. I never paid $1 to learn martial arts. You know, it's like. Most people pay all this money to go to the gym and train and stuff like that. And I understand people got to make their money, but it's like I never truly paid $1 to learn martial arts. I remember this one gym, they wanted to charge me. A couple months later, they stopped charging me. Why? I have no idea. They just stopped charging me. Freaking Travis, you know, he charged my mom for a couple months, and then one day we went on vacation and came back, and he put stop payment on the thing and never charged us again. And he actually gave me a job at the gym. You know, awesome. It's like... learning Kung Fu, I went to a continuation school, you know, it was part of the program to get credits and help you graduate from school. I just never was charged for martial arts. I make all my money off of martial arts, you know. It's like living in my grandma and grandpa's house, you know, yeah, you had to go to work, but my grandma and grandpa were fucking beautiful people to me and beautiful people to everybody around them. My grandma and grandpa didn't have a kid together, you know what I mean? So it's like the things that they did, when I say grandma and grandpa, it's like I say grandma, but she was married into the family way before I was ever even thought of, so that's grandma. And the things that they do for the family, even the people outside of the family, you know, those workers that are for them and stuff, it's like grandma had the same 4 workers for the past 30, 40 years. You know, it's like awesome. 2 may leave and go this way, and then she grabs another 2, but then it's just the same 2. It's like those 2 are here. If those 2 decide they need to go do other work, she goes back to the old 2 if they're around. Yeah. Or she just does it herself or hires family. It's like they make a huge difference in these people's lives. And I've always just thought that was amazing. You know, my grandfather, he was the one that gave everybody in the family a job until they just didn't want to do that job or until they got a new job. And I always thought that was amazing. So growing up like that, I was just like, fuck, you know, it's all my people done me. It's all the people I know do people. So it's all I know. All I know is to give back and to do right for others. And it feels good on Christmas when you're buying people gifts. Yeah. So throughout the year, I'm in a good position to be in Christmas all the time.
That's awesome. Well, because I think it's not that you have, I don't want to say bad rap, but you have this rap of being like,
asshole.
Yeah, but it, like, I'm like, I just don't see it, and I mean, I see it. Maybe I'm an asshole too, so it kind of cancels each other out.
It cancels out.
But I don't. I'm like, well, that's not. But that's not who he is. That's not. I mean, you see what you get. He tells you the truth, good or bad or indifferent, right? I'd rather know where I'm at than not. But I'm like, but he's really not. It's just. It's who he is, but you should see all the shit he does.
I'm stern, but I'm fair. You know, it's like, if you're an asshole, I'm an asshole. If you're nice, I'm nice. You know, it's like, if you kiss my ass, I'm not going to kiss yours. Yeah. But, you know, it's like, I'm fair. I'm just stern. You know, it's like, my kid knows it. You know, it's like, his friends know it. You know, all the people at the gym know it. Everybody in my life knows it. And it's like, but I'm fair. I'm probably overly fair at times, but it's like, you got to be stern. Oh man, you know, at the end of the day,
shit, dude.
I'm gonna treat you like how a man's supposed to treat another person.
We were just talking about that. I was like, bro, there people just aren't men anymore.
Yeah, that's the big
It's
problem.
wild, dude. Like it's like this.
And they're not used to dealing with men because there's not a lot of men anymore.
No, and it's like this whole boss babe crap had to come into play because, dude, it just annoys.
What's boss babe?
Boss babe, you know, like with these chicks is like having to be a boss because they have to be the man of the house because men don't step up.
I know nothing about that because I've always been the man of my house.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
but it's like this whole like I got to check with my wife to do this, or my wife runs the finances. And I'm not saying like a woman, like for instance,
They do pretty good at it though.
100%. Like my wife, if she wants a career and go build this, I 100% support her. Buy her business, support her business, whatever she wants to do. She kicks ass at being a mom.
Yeah.
And I love that. And that to me is the most important job in the world is being a mom. And I can't birth a child. Like I know this whole like, well, I don't care the way you want to slice it. I can't birth a child.
Yeah.
And she did, and she grew him. It's amazing. And I think it's awesome. Kids are great. But I'm like, I want to be the man that provides for her and our children. And she protects the castle. She protects everything she does. She sets up the castle. And it's like we have these men that just don't act like men anymore. And they're not a man. They don't take care of their business. They don't take care of their responsibilities, their family, their children. Like that's our responsibility. I don't give a fuck how I feel, what's going on in my life. I have a duty to them. And I just feel like we've had to create this world where women are having to become the mom, the dad. They have to be the mom, they have to be the dad, they have to go get a career, they have to provide for the family, they have to support. And I'm like, dude, what is going on?
Yeah. I mean, I remember growing up, my grandpa was like, I'm always the bad guy. And I used to be like, what the fuck, dude? Quit bitching. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean you're always the bad guy? Now I'm grown and I'm the fucking dad at the house and I'm the man of the house. And I'm like, damn, I'm always the fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
I pay for everything. I spoil everybody. Still the bad guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's designed that way. It's like, I don't let my mom go out and yell at my little brother. You know, it's like, Mom, you don't have to. Don't worry about it. Let me know what's going on. I got this. You know what I mean? My kids' moms, they don't freaking yell at my kids because they don't have to. I got that. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. I'll spoil them. I'll yell at them. Hey, even when it's time to buy gifts, I'll give the money to the mom and let the mom go buy it because I don't need to be looked at as the good guy. I don't mind being the bad guy. It's part of being the guy. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of men have gotten tired of that and then they don't want to do that. And so they want to be the kid's best friend or they want to be their old lady's best friend. And then they let it get drifted away to this person has the pants. And it's like, I'm just not doing that, bro. I'm always going to have the pants, you know? And it's like, and if you can't respect that, then we could just be friends. And it is what it is.
I had a little incident at Connor's school the other day, and a kid pushed him, and Connor hit him. And he lied about it at first. And he was like, Dad, I can't lie to you. I hit him. And I was like, hey, man, good for you. We don't teach our kid. Like, if kid hits you, we hit him back. And he's like, I did, Dad, and that's why I got in trouble. I'm like, you're not in trouble. I said, you might be in trouble at school, but you're not in trouble at home because the rule's not happening. But then, like, 24 hours later, some dude cut me off in the carpool line. And he tried to tell me I was number one. And so I got out of the car. And I'm like, oh, probably this is like, security guard's like, oh, this is where Connor gets it from. Yeah. Then I was like, wow, okay. Your kid, I wonder how it is being like, dude, my dad could literally beat the shit out of your dad. Yeah. Like, that's got to be a dominance as your kid. If your kid ever pulled that card?
It's probably, he pulls it too much. That's the problem.
My dad will beat your dad's ass.
It's like, it's like I explained to him. I'm like, son, on paper, there's several guys on the road that can kick my ass. You do realize that, right?
But they're not at school, Dad.
He's like, yeah, they're not around here. I'm like, but what if their kid went here? I'm like, what if their kid went here? Are you still going to use that line? Yeah, Dad, I still am.
Because the odds are in his favor, though. I mean, he's got about a 9. I mean, if you think about really, how many guys are in the UFC? Roughly, a couple hundred. Yeah, I would think there's. Yeah, there's less than that maybe.
Well, then he goes, Dad, are you good at hunting? I say, yeah. He goes, so you don't miss that often, right? I go, I mean, I miss sometimes, but not that often, right? Not that often.
Trying to close you, I like it.
He goes, then we win.
Yeah.
Because I get the fuck off the game.
Dude, I like where his head's at. He's like, my dad will beat you up, and by if that fails, my dad's a hunter, so he'll shoot you. So we're winning.
We're winning. You know, it's like, yeah, too much Chuck Norris or something for this kid.
Because my own kid, remember, he pulled that shit on me. Remember, by the way, he still wears that stupid Big Bird costume all the time. Like he's like, oh, Dad, this is mine and Kevin Holland's. And like I'm like, how do you still have that? But he pulled that shit on me the one time. I said, hey, man, if you don't knock it off, you're going to get a spanking. He's like, Dad, Kevin Holland's my friend. And if you spank me, I'm going to have him beat your ass. And I was like, no, he's not. He's like, so then he put me in the corner. He goes,
just tell him, Dad, stick together.
No, but he goes, oh, you're saying Kevin Holland couldn't kick your ass? I go, I didn't say that either. I'm just saying he's not going to. He's like, oh, so I'm gonna tell him you could beat him up. I go, whoa. No, I didn't say that either, bro. Like I'm saying that's not gonna happen. And I was like, wow, bro, like really gonna hold that against me?
You gotta show him the video of me kneeing you with the pad on and be like, look, this is the one time. He said from now on, he's no longer allowed to intervene. We're good. We're good. We're in the clear.
Never again. I was like, I'm never doing that again. I was like, ever. I was like, but I was like, wow, what? I mean, because if my dad was a UFC fighter, oh yeah, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah.
But, hey, listen, here's how it's gonna go down.
He tries that at school, and the teachers are like, well, I'm about to call your dad. He's like, whoa. Don't
do that.
You ain't got to call him.
What's so hunting? What else is you got the nonprofit?
The nonprofit's been doing pretty fun. You know, it's like we had the Mother's Day, we had the Father's Day.
Thanks. Trunk or treat.
We got the trunk or treat, October 16th or something like that. Yeah, I think the 16th or the 19th, one or the fucking other. We got the pumpkin patch pile up. So basically, we're gonna have the old schools out there, and we're gonna have the pumpkins either in the backseat of the old school or the trunk of the old school or around the old school. Kids can pick up some pumpkins.
That's awesome.
Too many people have gotten away from the old fun stuff. You know, carving a pumpkin with your kid and stuff like that. Putting the jack-o'-lantern outside. So we're gonna do that. We'll have a few costumes out there. So just in case anybody needs to get a last-second costume and just kind of snatch one off the shelf.
That's
awesome. You know what I mean? And then ultimately we're gonna have some sparring that day, so you can come watch these guys spar. And it's not a smoker. It's just nothing like that. It's just literally sparring and getting these guys used to sparring in front of a crowd, because it's kind of hard to get used to fighting in front of a crowd if you never sparred in front of a crowd. So we're just kind of getting these guys used to getting their fears out the way. And then we're going to have some food trucks out there so people can get them some food while they're out there watching some sparring, and ultimately getting some free pumpkins and stuff like that. So just have a little fun.
Sounds like a good day. Hunting. We got nonprofit. Yeah. We got it going on. What's before we wrap up? All right, let's. You got Roman. I mean, obviously you see this fight winning, right? You don't go into a fight thinking lose. After that, like, you moved from 170.
Yeah.
You go back to 185. Is this your home? I know you'll fight anywhere any time, but do you want to stay at 185? You think this is your eat steak, make weight?
I do love 85 if there's no goals at 70. If I had a goal at 70, then it'd be a different story. Yeah, it's like I don't really want a belt or anything like that. So it's like I don't really see myself needing to cut all that weight. It's like I'm not trying to take 4 or 5 very smart fights and be in title picture. It's like I fucking took 4 or 5 fights there and they all didn't work out. So let's just stick at 85 and have fun. You know, at least if you die, you're not dying hungry. You know, and it's like, who the fuck wants to die hungry?
Yeah, I don't want to do that anymore.
Could you imagine sitting there on your way to go get your favorite piece of food and you'd never fucking
get there,
and you're just sitting there dying like,
it's right there.
Got that steak. Yeah, fuck that.
I'm out. What's the after this fight? Is there somebody you want? Because I mean, look, man, I know you say you don't want a belt, right? And I hear you on that.
Mm-hmm.
If the BMF got there, but a split decision with JDM, who went on to beat the number 3 ranked guy he beat.
He's up there.
He went and dude, it was close, right? Like I mean that I thought you won that fight, not even being a homer. Like it was so close and it was split. Again, close.
I mean, stats are in my favor, but
that's what I'm saying. Like I thought you won the fight. Like I was there. I thought you won it. I mean, it was.
But then I lost to MVP clearly, who then lost to Ian Gary.
Yeah, but
and if you lose to Ian Gary, you don't fucking deserve the chance to be a champ.
No, but
and essentially, I lost to the guy who lost to Ian Gary.
The guy, but
so I then had to get a divorce because I don't want men being able to think they could fuck my wife.
We weren't going there, but no one ever thought that. But yeah, it's Ian Gary, fuck you.
I wasn't saying that about Ian. I was just saying, like, if I lose to this guy, that
I should have worn my Ian Gary shirt. I had it too.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, wasn't going there, but I like that. Yeah,
sorry, I went off.
I like it. It's like a little Ian Gary fight.
Yeah,
but the MVP, you dominated him in the second round.
It's 1 round to fucking 3.
Yeah, I mean it's a 3-round fight. But the point was,
good point.
It's not like it was 20 rounds.
You know, if we had more rounds, I think I could have got more rounds.
I think so too.
You know, it's like I think I was gonna win
5 round.
I think I was winning every even round. So if we had 6 rounds, I think it would have been a draw.
Yeah, or 5. I think you'd tap because you.
No, if it was 5 rounds, he was winning the odd ones. I was fucking losing. That's odd. That's an odd number. We have to have an even number,
and then be a draw.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we're gonna tell Dan we want because what the not contender series. What's the other one? Ultimate Fighter's 2 rounds.
2-round fight.
Yeah, so
I love that.
Yeah,
we'll just do a 2-round fight next time.
Fight. If you get through, who's next? Who do you want next?
Okay, so when I get through Roman Delise, who's next? I don't know. It's kind of like that. I feel like Chris Curtis feels like he slipped through the crack by hurting his ankle. I feel like we should scrap. You know what I mean? And it's like, he's probably wondering like, damn, Kev, why do you feel like we should scrap? And it's like, bro, you know what happened at the gym, dog. We should scrap, okay?
Well, we got backstory.
You know what I mean? It's like, so I think I don't think it needs to happen. I think it should happen. I think it'd be fun, but it might not happen. If we're being realistic, I do Roman the way I plan on doing Roman. And, you know, there's rumors that Shemaiah might not make it to his fight. Then I think one more fun fight on John Jones's potential last fight ever could be nice.
Ooh, in New York City?
Yeah, so, you know, it's like, shit, if Whitaker's around, that'd be sick. But I don't know. You know what I mean? Me and Cannonier are supposed to run it. He was on vacation, so he didn't want to do that. I mean, it's like, everybody's out there, bro. It's up for grabs. You know, it's like, realistically, if I look up, that means I got to go up. If I look down, that means I can stay right around. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I get Chris Curtis, I stay right around, you know what I mean? The outskirts of having to fight all those crazy guys. But at the same time, I don't mind fighting those crazy guys.
If you had your, let's say, it's your last fight, right? Like you just say, hey, you fought, you've gotten all these fights.
No, I just signed another 8-fight contract.
Well, I know. I was gonna say it's fight number 8.
Just signed it. So
I'm not. I know you're gonna get through this 8, but it's 8.
So
you go
I gotta fight at least 8 more
times.
people.
So
Yeah.
it's 7, and it's their last one. And you go the dream fight at 185 for you. Like you're like, you know what? I'm going out, and I want to fuck this dude up because I can't stand him because it's gonna be my last fight, and I want it all. Who is that guy?
Buckley back at 85.
You want Buckley back at 85?
Buckley back at 85.
Knock the boogers off him.
And I don't want to do it at 70 because he actually looks pretty decent at 70. But at 85, I'll beat the fuck out that boy.
So Buckley won. Who's number 2?
You know what's funny? It's like so you're saying, so basically name out my last 8. Name out my 8.
You got
name out my 8. If this is my last 8, if I only get choose 8.
Yeah, there we
so
go.
we
Top
got
8.
we got
We're
we got
going 8.
Roman.
MySpace, top 8.
We got Roman, we got Chris, we got, you know what I mean? So if I beat Roman, beat Chris, you know what I mean? So when I beat Roman, then I go and I beat Chris, you know, it's like it gets me in a pretty good spot. It's like if Strickland's sitting around waiting up there at the top, can't fight him. But you know, if he's not sitting over there waiting around, then boom, we can settle that score. Then, you know, it's like I got a couple 70 guys I like to fight. Like I said, I'd like to get Buckley to come back up. It's like if I did go down to 70, I'd like to beat up Neil Magny. I don't know why I've always wanted to beat up Neil Magny, but I've always wanted to beat up Neil Magny. I want him to cut his fucking hair, bro.
Neil Magny
tired of that
alone,
shit.
dude.
You know what I mean? They had a whole podcast talking about, man, some dudes say I look like this dude, and them dudes say I look like this dude. I just get mad that people say, hey, Kevin Holland and Neil Magny. My grandpa and Neil Magny are walking down the hallway, right? And my grandpa's like, what's up, Neil? And some guy walks by and goes, what's up, Kevin Holland? My grandpa looks around like, damn, I didn't know Kev was with me. And the guy goes up to Neil Magny like, aren't you Kevin Holland? And at that point in time, I was like, time for this motherfucker to cut his hair. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So what? That's like 5, 6. And then just give me like 2 other bums. Like, really, honestly, you can scratch everybody off that list. Give me
Buckley.
Give me Buckley, give me Neil Magny, and then give me 6 guys that come off the Contender Series that didn't look that good, almost didn't get a contract. I'm
those
done.
2. That's it.
Boom, it's a wrap.
And so if you could settle 2 scores, wish list Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
And poor Neil Magny. Leave that man alone, dude. You know, and then Buckley.
Buckley, one more time.
Strickland's off the list.
Buckley, one more time.
One more time. I like that. Like
Buckley, one more time.
Poor Neil Magny, though, dude. The guy's just trying to live his life.
Buckley, one more time.
Yeah, Buckley.
One more time. It's just he's fucking annoying, bro. It's fucking annoying.
Oh.
It's like I don't know what goes through his brain, but it's like, bro, I don't fucking know. It's like I could be on a fucking crutcher like this, right?
And he still annoy you.
And Buckley could be running around still doing his little back kick. I think I'd still beat Buckley's ass. It's like styles make fights. It's like I would take that crutcher, I would throw it up in the air, bow, bow, famous 1-2, grab the crutch, and just start walking again. That bitch ass nigga was fucking with me. You know what I mean? Like Buckley can't see me ever.
ever.
So that's one.
I like that.
I could have COVID and still beat Buckley's ass.
Okay, and
you know what I mean?
I'm with it. I like that list.
I could have diarrhea and still beat Buckley's ass. You know what I mean?
That's the realest list ever.
Yeah, it's like I could look like you and still beat Buckley's ass.
What the fuck does that mean, bro?
I don't know. I just figured it sounded good at this point.
Bro. Like, what does that mean? White guys can't fight?
They can. I've gotten beat by a few.
I know, but like
Wonder Boy, remember?
He's a bad white boy, bro. Wonder Boy, but still, like, what look like me? Is it because I'm fat?
You're not fat anymore.
Okay, anymore. I know Fat Dustin's gone a little bit.
Buff Dustin
But-
now.
But look like me. I don't know what that means. I feel like whatever. That's fucked up though. But I think I couldn't beat Buckley. I'd have to blindside him and run. I'm not trying to pick that. And then if it was like a 1-punch fight and I got the first one and there was no other punches
I
allowed,
think you can get it done, bro.
I don't want to take that. Listen, I let the fighters fight. I'm gonna stick to this routine.
Yeah.
I like to train and I like to hit the pad and like look good.
You
doing
and Buckley on the roof, you beat his ass.
Yeah, on a roof maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, and then
Balance ain't the same. You know what I mean? Footwork different.
yeah, it's a little
Footwork,
bit different. It's
Hit
a
him with
little
that
bit.
move.
And I've been training a little bit. Getting a little quicker.
Yeah.
Throwing, the mitts don't hit back, but it feels good. Like I got something. I'm moving.
Yep.
Roll.
See?
But then, no.
Roll.
Yeah.
Roll.
You know, I know
But if
my-
you roll on the roof, you might roll.
I know.
roll.
Listen, I know my fucking role. Okay, let me tell you this. And no pun intended. I know my role. Listen, I'm not beating anyone's ass in the UFC. I'm not the dude saying that I could, and I'm not the dude because that was like credit to anyone that made it. Because
But if you look like me, you'd beat Buckley.
yeah, that's true. Because it's right here.
Then there it is there, people.
Yeah, but if I get that. But if you look like me, you can't.
No, if I look like you,
That's what
I'd
I'm
still
saying.
beat Buckley.
Oh yeah, okay. That's actually a compliment. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, okay, I'm back. Last one before we go. Do you think Conor McGregor's coming back? Do you really think he's gonna do it, man? Chandler moved on. It's like I feel like it's like did Conor leave us at the altar or did Chandler leave him at the altar?
Look, man, in my personal opinion, I feel like if Conor really wanted to fight, he would have fought.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. But then as we talk about gambling, right? And it's a gamble that he really just didn't need to take. Another L would hurt the brand.
Yeah, big
You know
time.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Staying where he is right now, the UFC didn't let me fight. Chandler ran off. Doesn't hurt the brand. I mean, it's like there's going to be some diehard fight fans, some real big fans of his that are always going to say, we wanted to see you come out and get one more and it'd be a win. But to say that you went out there, your very last fight, and was fighting Dustin and broke your leg, it's almost like we see that over the knockout. You know?
We do. But it's like if he comes, like, because I got to talk to him at bare
It needs to
knuckle.
be a win.
It has to be a
It
win.
needs to be a win.
And
And then who's the perfect person for him to win against? To me, it was Chandler.
Chandler, and it was really strange. I talked to him for like 10 minutes, right? It was crazy at bare knuckle. And but before that was announced, he brought that up that he thought Chandler was getting another fight. And then, people were accusing him of not doing it. And he said, he was like, I'm the most tested athlete. Like he started going off about it. And then a couple days later, it came out, and then people posted that he said he was tested 13 times. I think he was tested 12 or 13, and he had actually gotten tested that day. And he goes, I was tested today, and he was. So he was telling the truth about that part. And then he told us he thought Chandler was taking another fight, and it was before it got announced, and he did.
If the dude really wants to fight, though,
Then he can fight, right?
I find it hard to believe that if Conor McGregor truly wants to fight,
Then they wouldn't say
they're not letting him fight.
But do you think too that he really obviously he showed his toe, and like you said it right here, you're a fighter, okay, and like you're in say you're in his position, and that dude, I have to get a win. An L, it's over.
Yeah.
And you have your toe, and he does a lot of kicks. Would you have fought?
If I'm Conor McGregor, no.
Yeah, you take that because you
If
hold the
I'm
cards.
Conor McGregor, I'm doing whatever the fuck Conor McGregor did.
That's true. And
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because at the end of the day, it's like, look at where he is. He's the most successful mixed martial artist of all times. John Jones, best mixed martial artist of all times. Khabib, most dominant mixed martial artist of all times. GSP, probably some of the best charisma in MMA of all times. Legendary status. Anderson Silva, legendary status. But Conor McGregor, when you say financial,
He changed
sets
the game
itself
for everybody.
apart
He changed the game for
by
everybody.
a landslide.
Like nobody's done what he's done.
So it's like if he says his big toe hurts and he doesn't feel like fighting this time, his big toe hurts and he doesn't feel like fighting this time. But in a sense, he made another superstar when he did it. Pereira comes up, steps up, takes the fight. Once again, superstar. It's okay. It happens.
I sometimes I think him and Dana are doing it behind the scenes a little bit. Like they say, like Dana's like, I didn't talk to him, and I'm like, I feel like sometimes they're like not saying in on that plan is, but they have a plan. But man, I'm like, why does he want to fight? And then he said, I'm gonna fight in bare knuckle. I'm like, this guy's fucking nuts. He just loves
I
to
don't
fight.
think he can.
But it's like, well, after,
Contracts.
He said after his contract, so he wants to do 2 fights and fight in it, and it's. I'm like, well, this dude's different.
And that's probably why they're not letting him get done with his
We
contract.
get it done. So you think he can fight, or you think
could
he's
be
done?
it could be a sense of them saying, hey, we're not letting you out that easy.
Yeah.
And it could be a sense of him saying, I don't feel like fighting right now. So it's like, maybe it's both. Maybe they don't want to let him out that easy, and then every time he's a little bit more difficult, they think they can hold him for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You know, it's like his toe was hurt. Okay, we can't just postpone your fight and fight you 2 weeks later. We can't do that. We need 2
It's a
months.
build up. Yeah, it's a
3
super big
months.
of a name.
You're just too much. You cost too much money.
Yeah.
You cost way too much money for us to throw an event and for it to get changed around.
And Dana said he'll fight next year. Do you think it'll happen? 2025.
I mean,
if you were betting,
he could be the very first card of the year, and that'd be the highest. It'd be the highest gate. It'd be hard to beat.
Would you do you think his comeback will be bigger than anything he's done because of the buildup?
Depends on what the buildup is based around.
Yeah.
Depends how they base the buildup.
Like his fight, and he comes back. It's been years of making.
Yeah, and I think the window's closing though.
Yeah,
I think the window's
you got to
closing.
do something. I think you have to. I think the smart. You have to announce it, and it has to go through this time where it's over.
Yeah,
you can't get a fight and then a delay.
Yes,
then it's over.
It has to be a good camp, and he has to drop a documentary. I would say drop a documentary 2 weeks before the fight.
Yeah, I think it's time. Connor, just come back. Fucking, it's time. I think he needs to come back.
If you're
let's do it.
If you're gonna come back,
let's do it.
You got to come back first couple cards of the year, or don't come back at all.
And get Kevin Holland on the card with you. It'd be huge. Yeah, Kevin Holland, big mouth on the card with.
That'd be the crazy ass night.
Could you imagine the press conference?
I'm trying to say cage side and get drunk.
Well, you can't. Make sure you're do the third or fourth fight. You can get back, start drinking. You'll be good.
They never let that happen.
Why?
It just doesn't happen like that.
I think it'll happen. You go out and smoke Roman. County gets a card. You go out and John Jones card. Then the first January.
Oh no,
February.
yeah, I'm saying I can get on the card. I'm saying, but I was trying to be at the card, cage side, getting drunk.
Yeah, but there's no better way. If you let's say pay-per-view card 5.
Oh
man.
no.
You're the fifth one, right?
Bro, there's going to be so many sponsor opportunities, meet and greets, and everything revolved around a Conor McGregor fight, especially if it's in Vegas. It's like International Fight Week all over again.
Yeah, big.
If you're a fighter with any smidget of a name and your manager doesn't help you make at least $10,000 to $20,000 that weekend that Conor McGregor is fighting and you're actually in that city,
Yeah.
you have a fucking shit manager.
Or you could be on the card and get way money because you have a big name like Kevin Holland, and you still do some meet and greets, and you'd be the first fight on the main event card. So then you smoke that dude, hurry up and get back, and then come sit cage side and watch the rest of the fights. Start drinking and celebrate your win.
That'd be a good one too.
Yeah,
That'd be
see,
a good one too.
People helping people, baby.
Yeah, but I'd love to be drunk the whole week on a Conor fight.
That's true. I'll start drinking for you. I'll drink that weekend for you. I haven't drinking like almost 2 years, but I'm down.
Yeah, you're gonna be fucked up.
I'm down. I'll go.
Yeah, you're gonna be walking on your cowboy hat like.
Let's go.
Yeah,
that's it. Realize, recognize.
Nah, it's the DG show. It's the DG show, baby.
Thank you. Look forward October 5th, Salt Lake City. Make sure you tune in to watch Kevin smoke this dude. It's been an honor, Kevin.
Fire up the weave, huh?
Let's go.
All right, guys. And on that note, realize, recognize, I am out.
Boom.